Okay, I would really like to get out there and walk around and move. I would love that so much, especially with this little selfie stick that I do have, but I don't know where it's at. I think it's in one vehicle and I gotta go look for it, but I don't see it anywhere else. So I'm going to do it in the office. But I really like this week's module and as well as just the videos that were attached because they were videos that I've also reviewed many times, you know, in the past, especially just being here and being a student and, wanting to see what other people have experienced as far as just the academic journey and being able to see both of these commencement speeches are really inspiring and I've watched them multiple times and they help you know motivate you and get you through those rough times or there's just those uncertain times in unknown times. So for me in my experience, uh, I started off at junior college and it took a while for me to grow up in my junior college experience, I had to grow up as far as being a young man who was always getting in trouble in high school to finally being out on my own and having to be, responsible for, my actions. One could be as a lesson that I learned is showing up is half the battle. I had to catch two buses and a light rail just to make it to the college I was attending in order to make it to class on time. Sometimes I had to leave real early in the morning just to make sure I would make it to class. And I would spend all day there because I would still have to catch the same two buses and light rail all the way back home and be dog tired and as well as having to embrace those little struggles as far as like what Mr. Jobs is talking about. You might not know where you're going to sleep that night. You might not have enough for a meal, but you'll know where to cop, some snacks or a free meal or a free drink here and there. And I really like those moments that I've been in because they bring a smile on my face and it also lets me know to enjoy the little things and what I do have. In my experience, like even right now, I'm always gone, I'm always on the road, I'm always work. I got work full time as a firefighter right now. Doing that, it's two. You work 2 days straight and then you get 4 days off. So I work a full 48-hour shift straight. And then on my off time, those 4 days, I usually attend school. I work here part time at the school, and then I also go and do my homework in the free time. But most of the time, I'm here at school, and if I'm not here, then I'm over there. I'm always working. I'm either at work, or I'm working on schoolwork, or I'm working at school. So most of my time is spent that way. So you can imagine what my diet looks like right now. Most of the times it's just TV dinners and gas station foods here and there. I look forward to those meals where you'd be able to just sit down and relax and just enjoy a good meal, and especially with good company. Wanting to be spending time at home and just having a good meal with your family. Um, just enjoying those good times. And most of my diet is, basically just gas station food and snacks, and that's all I'm rocking. And most people always like are shocked that I'm always on that, but that's to me, it's also like a luxury because there was a point in time where I wasn't able to afford, simple things like that. There was a point in time in junior college where I had to make $5 last all week. Now that $5 was supposed to take care of me as far as food and drinks, and as well as my bus pass. And I could tell you, I would buy that uh, reduction pass real quick, and as far as eating and drinking, that went out the window. I had to find and uh, make do other ways, and it brings a smile on my face because I remember those struggles. And now that I've got a little bit more cash in my pocket, I still grateful just to get a snack, a drink, something. Just to relax and cool off somewhere in the shade or in the office. There was a point in time where I would sit here and spend all day at school and not really have a place to study or other than the library or sleep on the library floor. Now I get an office and a little cubicle of myself, and I get, just the simple things to be grateful for. And I really like that because it allows you to be humble. It allows you to recognize where you come from. And I really, it just always brings a smile on my face. And as far as the videos this week, um, I like them because they also show the times of uncertainty or those times of unknown. Not really knowing what to expect out of the future because you might be going through, this challenge or this struggle. And sometimes it might ask you or task you to, back away from it and approach it a different way or go another route. And I really like that because some people might look at it from the outside like, hey, that's failure. That's not the right way to do things. You should do this. But at the same time, it's like you're not the individual going through this struggle. Only, Mr. Jobs was at this time. Only he really knew what it was going to take. Only he really knew what he was capable of doing. And only he really knew that it was just up to him, to be successful, to go this route or go that route, or to having to back away from college or getting or backing away from his company and, you know, finding another route to make, you know, a success with as far as life. And, he even says it, he wouldn't have what he has now if it wasn't for those rough times and going this, way versus the original trajectory. So it's really tough, but it's also really inspiring because it also lets you know that, part of the struggle and part of the challenges we're going through, they're supposed to be there, but at the same time, they're also what makes it rewarding at the end if you become successful. Because you could truly say that I went through it, I understood what it was going to take. I believed in myself even when I didn't really want to believe in myself. I was the only one that believed in myself. And if you're going to bet on somebody, you bet on yourself. That's just how it goes. And I really like both of these videos. They're just really inspiring. And it looks like I'm going over my time clock. So I apologize for that. But I thank you for this and thank you for the opportunity. Best, Jones.